So I've got a quick question about Garmin's and which you should buy. Catherine Shanahan, I think that's how you say your name. But yeah, I really like her channel, so if you've not seen any of her videos, have a quick look at her channel. I will link it below. But she asked me about Garmin. She's wanting to get a Garmin for a bike, and it is very daunting. There's so many Garmins out there, and there's so many different price ranges and so many different settings and so many different functions that all these different Garmins do. And when you first get into buying them, it is just like an absolute minefield of what the hell do I even choose? So just to make it really, really simple, there are two kinds of Garmins for sport. So you basically got a wrist strap, watch version, and you've got a bike mountable non-watch version. And depending on what you want to measure when you're cycling, depends on which one you should get and whether you run or not. So I'll start with the watch. So basically this is a 910 XT. This can be used for running as well and cycling. So you can put that on the front of your bike, as you can do with the 920 XT and the 310 XT. So basically all these are going to measure are distance, speed, what else does it measure? And they are linkable with a power meter. And this is uploadable to Strava, so if you want stuff to upload to Strava, that will show you your route when you get back to show where you've run. The difference with the bike mountable ones, and this is the Garmin Edge 1000, and this basically has got much more information and data on it and a bigger screen, and I think is much easier to use, and it's just a really, really good piece of equipment. And the main difference for me, because I'm not pro cyclist obviously, so I don't need a lot of the features on it, but the main thing that I wanted to get this for is that it has maps on it. So if you don't know where you're going, you can actually program in where you want to go on it, whereas this one you can't see the map as you're running, whereas this one you can see the map as you are going and it will direct you. So that was the main reason that I wanted to get this Garmin, because obviously I had this one first and it's fine, it shows you how far you've gone, blah blah blah, when you get back and plug it into either Garmin Express or Strava. But this one is just if you want to know how many meters you've climbed, temperature. There's just so many different kind of functions and different things that you can choose to have on the screen, and I just love that it's got really clear maps on it. And one of the reasons that I wanted to get it was because I was making the excuse when I didn't know where I was going. I was always like, I'm just going to get in the car and use my sat-nav because I don't know where I'm going. But I don't have the excuse because I wanted to be able to go places on my bike and use my bike as transport. So this is why I bought this. I'm actually going to go out to my friend's house now. I don't even know. It's about 30 miles away. I've never been there before, so I'm going to use this to direct me there. So yeah, that is really the main difference. I guess what you've got to do is see which or what your needs are. If you want something very basic that is just measuring how far you've gone, and just something really basic, that you can just get a wrist strap version. But if you are thinking in future you want to attach a power meter to your bike, then make sure you get the Garmin wrist strap that is compatible with power meters, because they're not all of them are. The 310 XT, I think that's the cheapest one that you can get that is compatible. So that's Garmin 310 XT, Garmin 910 XT and Garmin 920 XT. I know that they all are running cycling watches that are linkable with a power meter. And just a really quick mention of power meters. I didn't really understand how power meters worked. I just thought if you paid £500 or whatever it is for a power meter, that was all you needed on your bike. But a power meter measures watts per kilo, so how much power you're putting in as you're cycling and pedalling. Yeah, I just thought, well, maybe if I'm spending that's all I need. But you have to have another device on your bike to show you the statistics from that power meter. The power meter is just something that goes on the crank arm. So there's nothing there to actually tell you. You have to have a device that's going to show you what's per kilo. So it can seem confusing, but basically it's just whether you want something just for biking that is very basic, or whether you want like all the different fandangle like things that you can do on this one. So this one was, I think this was a couple of £100 actually, and that was 300. But the Garmin Edge 500 also has maps. It's very similar to the Edge 1000. It's a bit smaller, so the screen's not as big, but it does have direction capabilities on it, and it is pretty much the same as that, and it's so cheap now. I think I bought my dad one and it was 80 quid. So it is so cheap, when that was like 300, I think it was 320 actually, and that was like reduced quite a bit. So I guess it depends what you want. Ask yourself what you want from it, and then hopefully that has helped direct you in whichever way you want to get one. So if you've got any questions or anything you think that I can help with, then just post them down below, and I will see you next video.